Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and welcome to the SPL. This is a VGC style draft league that I joined that allows for mythical Pokemon as well, and we are kicking off week 1 of the league, going up against none other than Joey PokeaimMD. It's been a long time since I've played in draft leagues, but I figured I would join this one because, first of all, it's a VGC style league, and second of all, mythical Pokemon are allowed, and we don't really get to see those in VGC ever, so we should get to see some unconventional Pokemon and strategies being used, which is really fun. And I think draft league just makes for a really fun viewing experience as well, because you get to see all kinds of crazy teams and strategies being built. And in VGC, where you might be only used to seeing certain Pokemon and strategies, Draft League can really open up the door to all kinds of different things. But for week 1, we're up against Joey, and Joey is such an incredible Pokemon player and content creator. Joey, of course, primarily focuses on singles content. He plays a lot of different formats, but in the limited time that he's played VGC, I think he's absolutely been incredible. I remember playing against him in 2016, and he beat me. And I thought, I think if Joey took VGC seriously and committed a season to trying to qualify for Worlds, I really believe that he would qualify for Worlds. I think he has so much strong Pokemon knowledge inherently, and has obviously played so much Pokemon across so many different formats. And for that reason, I think this will be a really, really exciting way to kick off the league. The league has a lot of regular season weeks, and then the top players end up going into the playoffs. And so obviously our goal is to try to rack up some wins, but it's also important to get experience early on, figure out how to use my draft properly, figure out how to team build once again in draft league, since it's been a very long time. And I think Joey is really what better way to get the league started than to go up against him, right? Because he's someone that's so experienced, and so should make for a really awesome battle. As always, there's going to be a team building portion of it where I talk about the team that I'm bringing into the battle and why I've constructed my team the way I have. But if you want to skip to the battles, check out the timestamps down in the description below. And yeah, thanks so much as always for joining me. It's been a really long time since I've joined a draft league, so I hope this is content that you guys enjoy. I'm doing this mainly because I want you all to have a fun viewing experience. I want to add some spice to the league as well, and just be able to, try my best and give you all a good show. So thanks so much for joining me here. Let's get started with this week. Breaking down this week's matchup against Joey, you can see my team on the top right hand of your screen and Joey's team on the bottom right hand. Before diving into any specifics, I first of all want to say that I think Joey is easily one of the top threats to win this entire league, and even though he may not have as much VGC experience, Joey is an incredibly skilled Pokemon player and also has a ton of Draft League experience, and I think also drafted a team that is really powerful in Draft League in particular because there are a lot of unknown variables. For example, for me, coming from a VGC background, I really don't know what Diancie, Deoxyspeed, and Manaphy can do in a VGC setting. And so I think sometimes in Draft League, you can tunnel vision and think very, very hard about what your opponent is going to bring and over-prepare for it, just for them not to bring any of what you're expecting. You obviously want to consider that element of what you think your opponent will bring, but I think my draft has a lot of solid fundamentals, and I can use a lot of really powerful Pokemon to just win the game without having to over analyze what I think my opponent will bring. I think Joey's team in particular is definitely one of the more wonky teams in the league, and as someone, like I mentioned, who doesn't have that much experience or any experience really fighting against Diancie, Manaphy, or the Deoxyspeed in particular, I really, really don't want to go too hard in terms of trying to out-prep any of one of those specific Pokemon, especially because I think all of them are bringable into this matchup. So from my end, what I want to first focus on is who to not bring into this matchup. Pretty clear cut that Torracat and Paldean and Toro should be eliminated because Joey has Annihilate, so that was easy to make from a decision-making standpoint. And then the question is, well, what remaining Pokemon do I want? I think Cresselia, Ursaluna as a duo, it'd be really hard for me to not bring really into any week, but it just feels very solid here. I think Ursaluna has the potential to just sweep through Joey's entire team, but the one thing that I has to worry about is Bronzong. So for that reason, because Bronzong is, I think, a fairly valuable pick for Joey, I'm going to go for Ghost Terra plus Shadow Claw and Ursaluna just to have a way to hit that Bronzong. I think Bronzong with Body Press, Iron Defense could be pretty scary because if I don't have this Ghost coverage, Bronzong just walls me and then can set up on me, which I really don't like. And so Ursaluna here being brought with that Ghost Terra, with that Shadow Claw, just as a way to actually hit that Bronzong. So this week, if you look at my team overall, you can see I don't really have anything super, super crazy. It's mainly just some small techs here and there that I think can give me an edge, right? So, for example, I've got normal Terra on Wo-Chien as well as the Enamorous Therian. The concept behind this, of course, is to be able to wall Annihilate if it goes for a Rage Fist. Sneasel plus Annihilate, obviously a combination that I have to respect from Joey's end. I really, really don't want to just eat something up like a beat up into a Rage Fist immediately, and that can be really, really deadly. But if I have normal Terra, I can just block it immediately. Specs Enamorous Therian, for example, can retaliate back with a knockout, and I've got super effective fairy moves into Sneasel as well as the Annihilate here. Wo-Chien, I think, is kind of the main Pokemon I was thinking about not bringing. I was thinking about bringing Vivillon instead. And I think you can make arguments for both, but ultimately I decided Vivillon has a couple of weaknesses here. It's slower than the Sneasel, so it can just get hit by Triple Axle and faint, which I think is really scary. And I also think that it's just generally more frail. And I don't think I need to set up Tailwind in this matchup either, since Spectra already is faster than a lot of Joey's team, right? And so for that reason, I think it's like Vivillon also obviously works with Ursaluna out next to it. Do I really feel like Ursaluna can just absolutely dominate this matchup? It can be really good, but Bronzong alone makes it a little bit tougher. I think if Joey didn't have Bronzong, I actually would have thought about Vivillon plus Ursaluna as a combo a lot more, but Bronzong alone can just be annoying. Imagine something like a Safety Goggles Bronzong, for example. I can't really do anything with it with Vivillon, and the only way I can hit it with Ursaluna is Shadow Claw, for example. So I decided Wo-Chien is a pretty good glue piece to be able to Pollen Puff into Ursaluna as well as Spectrier. So yeah, I think like Joey's draft is just really flexible. You know, I generally expect him to bring Manaphy, Deoxys, Diancie, Annihilate, Bronzong, and Sneasel, but I think there's a lot of flexibility. I could see him flexing in for it, for example, Hydrapple, and so I think, yeah, there are definitely a lot of scary things from his end, and I just don't really know what full sets to anticipate, which makes it all the more tougher, I think. Otherwise, I think my core strategy going into this week is to be able to ideally enable either Spectrier or Ursaluna. Set up Spectrier, get that nasty plot off, and just start sweeping with Shadow Ball or Draining Kiss. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is getting Ursaluna out under Trick Room and just spamming my damage under Trick Room with it. Enamorous Therian can be used inside Trick Room, obviously, but it's also fine outside of Trick Room because it's fairly bulky. And so with Screen support as well as Parting Shot support, Enamorous can really be enabled. And then Wo-Chien can soak up damage and also can heal all of my Pokemon up with the Pollen Puff here. Cresselia here, I opted for Mental Orb just because I think there can be so many random taunts in Draft League, and Cresselia is such a support-oriented Pokemon that I really don't want to deal with those taunts. And Grimmsnarl, I figured the dual screens version is best. Grimm has so many options, which is one of the reasons why I really like it in Draft League in particular. And for this week, I thought Taunt would be a really good move to stop either setup from any of his Pokemon or to be able to deny, for example, Follow Me if Furret comes out. And then Parting Shot is, of course, I can use to pivot out and decrease the amount of damage that Joey can do as well. So with Grimm Spectre, for example, I can go screens, protect on Spectre turn 1, turn 2, go for a Parting Shot or set up my other screen and Nasty Plot, and then play the game from there. Obviously, this means I'm not running any offense on Grimmsnarl, but I'm okay with that trade-off at the end of the day because I think that Taunt is a really good move, and I think Parting Shot also has a lot of value here. So, yeah. The general idea will be to, first of all, see which 6 Joey actually brings, because I find it kind of difficult to immediately eliminate like any specifics from this matchup from his end. And once again, I think like that's one of the strengths of his draft. And so I don't want to over prepare for any one specific mythical Pokemon, for example, just for Joey not to bring it. So yeah, this is the strategy and the team that I'm going to go with this week. And so we'll see how we can execute it. Okay, so let's see what Joey has brought here. Our first game back in Draft League after what's felt like years. Normal, Terra Nihilape, Sneasel. That was definitely expected. Furret was expected as well. Bronzong Manaphy makes sense. Hydrapple is the one Pokemon I feel like I didn't give a ton of thought to, so that's what I'm mainly curious about. I was expecting like Sneasel plus Annihilate lead here, personally. There's a lot of different modes that we could go with. I've got the normal Terra. I'm honestly thinking about Enamorous lead. Enamorous Grimm. Spectrier. Could go Grimm Spec as well. Grimm Spec. Wo-Chien. Enamorous. I'm going to try this for game 1. Alright. Let's see. I think, yeah, I wonder what kind of Annihilate set this is. It is normal Terra. I wonder, like, because I was really thinking about Will-O-Wisp on Spectrier coming into this. And teching it over Protect. That could have honestly been maybe kind of nice here. I think the main question is, does he just get to set up with Annihilate, you know, super early? But it's going to be Furret Manaphy. Okay. Well, we are in new territory here. Frisk is actually a pretty awesome ability for them. I think with Furret, like, I do want to respect Knockoff being an option. Obviously could follow me, so I have Taunt turn 1. I think, like, Taunt Furret, Nasty Plot is what I'm leaning towards. I could also just set up Light Screen, but I'm worried about Furret constantly offering redirection, so I like taunting here. Taunt Nasty Plot. Okay, no follow me comes out from Furret here. We'll set up here. Oh! The Rain Dance, okay. Manaphy will get the Tail Glow off, but that's okay. I can Light Screen now into Protect and then Parting Shot, I think. I just don't know my Manaphy calc super well here, but let's see. Manaphy. I think part of what makes fighting Joey really difficult is not really knowing these Pokemon super well. So like, you know, +3 Surf, for example, into Spectrier. Yeah, I lean towards Light Screen Protect this turn and then Parting Shot next turn. Maybe Taunt onto Manaphy would have been better. Yeah, Furret switches, which isn't really shocking. Into Hydrapple, okay. Drops our evasion. It's fine. We'll protect here. Light Screen is now set up. They could go for a second Tail Glow, which would be sick. But it's just Hydro Pump. Okay, that's fine. So, +3 Hydro into us with Light Screen up. Yeah, I'll definitely survive, and now I can Parting Shot as well. So I don't mind going for Parting Shot here. +2. It'll do decent damage, but not the most threatening. Could go for a second Nasty Plot. I think I'm down to Parting Shot, Fairy, Terra, Draining Kiss here onto Hydrapple. Okay. Oh, we are going to get the Terra commit here. Okay. Yeah, Terra Hydrapple. Into Steel. That's a really nice play. Okay, Manaphy protects, which is fine. What is Hydrapple going for? We'll get our Draining Kiss off. That really does not do much. Syrup Bomb. Okay, Syrup Bomb is okay. I actually don't mind being slower here, truthfully, because it means I just get to heal back up with my Draining Kiss. So I think I'm still down to Parting Shot here. And Draining Kiss into Manaphy. I could go for another Nasty Plot, but I think the healing is really valuable right now. The speed drop is interesting. I mean, one of the other questions is, what is the final offensive option here for Joey, right? Normal Terra Bronzong could be a little bit annoying. Going for another Nasty Plot might have been better. I think that's one thing to reconsider in this matchup is prioritizing more nasty plots. But I can now get an angle where Wo-Chan can come in and start pollen puffing while I Shadow Ball and Draining Kiss everything. Okay, so we'll get Parting Shot off. Cool. I think I probably want to bring out Wo-Chan right now. Yeah, I like the threat of Runation and Pollen Puff this next turn. I guess Enamorous could come out right now. But I think I like Wo-Chan more. Ooh, it's Dazzling Gleam instead. Okay. Well, I don't mind that very much. We'll get Draining Kiss. Oh, it's really good damage into Manaphy. Excellent. Okay, not bad. Heals us almost back to full. Ooh, he gets me on the Pollen Puff, which is really nice. But this is still fine, right? My speed continues to fall, but that's okay. Manaphy might honestly protect here. One thing I have to respect, of course, is side Pollen Puff from Hydrapple onto Manaphy. The protect from my Wo-Chan or switch is kind of obvious right now. I could go back out into Grimmsnarl, which I don't think is bad. Dazzling plus Pollen is scary. It's a question of what I want to do with Wo-Chan right now. Do I want to swap it out? I'm really thinking about going for another Nasty Plot right now. I think I'm going to switch in Grim and Nasty Plot again. Manaphy could go for another Tail Glow, which would be crazy. It's just Hydro Pump, which is fine. Okay. But maybe the second Nasty Plot was a little bit greedy. I should have anticipated Terra Blast, probably. How much does this do to us? Doesn't KO us, but that's obviously way too much damage onto us. Okay, that was greedy. Yeah, this Hydrapple set is really cool. So, let me just jot it down. Hydrapple. I think if I just Terra Blasted there, I would have been fine. Or Draining Kiss, I would have been fine, because I would have been able to heal all the way back up. But I thought he would consider something like Protect here. I don't have Fake Out, but he doesn't know that I haven't revealed that yet. That could have been a Protect on Spectre, too, and like a Runation. I'm up Parting Shot and Protect here. Yeah, nice play. You know, my question is, how fast is this Hydrapple? But I think because I went all in on Spectre here, maybe I need a Cresselia in this game for healing as well, but Steel Terra Terra Blast is really interesting. Terra Blast. I feel like, yeah, this is a good reminder of Draft League, like the crazy sets that you can run into. Syrup Bomb. Honestly, low-key, I think I should probably switch out Spectre right now. Yeah, I'm a Parting Shot into Manaphy. Switch out into Enamorous. I'm just a little bit worried I don't have enough damage now. I thought that last turn, yeah, like I got a little bit greedy going for a second Nasty Plot. Thought Manaphy would protect in that position, and also didn't expect the burst damage from Terra Blast specifically. Because my idea was, look, even if you attack here, I can take an attack. But as soon as I saw Steel Terra, I should have thought about the Tech Terra Blast. So that was just cool. Grim will pivot out. I'm gonna bring in the Wo-Chan right now. Okay, good on him to anticipate the Fairy Terra Draining Kiss. Thought that was really smart. Dazzle comes out. Yeah, and the Pollen Puff. The main thing right now is, do I want to reveal information to him? Dazzle's not really doing too much. I can switch back out into Grim. I have Choice Specs Mystical Fire here, so I'm thinking about it. Manaphy protecting would make some sense to me. The problem Spectre is way too low now. This normally wants to stay on the field for the entirety of the game, so maybe Crest would have been a decent bring in this one. Yeah, Manaphy just Gleams here. Okay. I think we had the tools in this one, but the key turn of Spectre just getting blown up was really bad by Hydro Pump. So, see how much Mystical Fire does. Does not get the knockout here. Probably getting Terra Blasted. Yep. But this is a really cool Hydrapple set. Manaphy is Tail Glow. Got into Spectrier. I can go out into Grim. Yeah, I think with Spectre being solo, this one basically feels over. Turn 1 Taunt into Manaphy would have been really good as well. So if I were to... I don't mind running it back with the same leads, truthfully, and just executing a little bit better. I also think Wo-Chan didn't actually offer me a ton in this game because of the Pollen Puff. Like this Hydrapple set was really, really good into everything, and I didn't really anticipate it too much in the prep process either. Hydro Pump, Protect, Dazzle on Manaphy. Yeah, you can just Dazzle now if you're him. The two turns I can really point to in this game were not taunting Manaphy on turn 1, and then also not going for the Hydrapples that just completely caught me off guard. The speed drops from Syrup Bomb were tricky as well, but yeah. Okay, Manaphy protects, so we'll at least get a knockout, but it's a little bit too late, I think. But this Hydrapple set was just not something I'd anticipated very much at all. And that's the cool thing about Draft League, right? The ability to create really ingenious sets like what Joey's created with Hydrapple here. So, Cresselia, I think should probably come out in the next game. Like Cress over Wo-Chan, I think I might have liked a little bit more. I do think Grim Spec was actually not a bad lead. I think going for multiple nasty plots was also not a bad idea, but I need to go for, like, figure out when to weave them in, right? Like, the turn that I Draining Kissed Hydrapple could have been another nasty plot. Sneasel's the last one, so that's good information. Okay. My Spectre is actually faster than Sneasel. I mean, this game isn't technically over yet, right? I assume he has Fake Out. Wait, yeah, this actually is definitely not over, because I think Spec can heal back enough from Sneasel. So I'm going to Protect switch into Grim right now. But yeah, I think the two key turns I can point to were going for Draining Kiss onto Terra Steel Hydrapple. That could have just been a nasty plot that turn. Again, a second nasty plot. And then I would have been able to just KO Manaphy the subsequent turn. And then the other mistake was the second nasty plot that I went for later on in the game. So I think our tools were fine. I think Cress is not a terrible bring in the next one. I don't know if I want Ursaluna. It just gets demolished by Hydro Pump. But I think Cress with the pressure that it has to offer is not bad in this one. Because it does give me Helping Hand Draining Kiss as well. But I think this is actually not 100% over. Take out into us, yep. Hydro Pump, yep. Let's see, +1 special attack. You're at +1. The thing is, now I get to Draining Kiss the Sneasel. If Sneasel has Ice Shard, though, or Sucker... I mean, if it has Prio at all, you just knock out my Spectre, but I think this is my best bet. Just Parting Shot. And try to heal against the Sneasel. This is where having Fake Out on Grim, I think, would have been really nice as well. Okay, he does have Ice Shard. Yeah, I figured that'd be the case, so that's good to confirm. I'm assuming it's Focus Sash, but Sneasel, Fake Out, Ice Shard, Manaphy, Tail Glow, Hydro Pump, Protect, Dazzling Gleam. I don't think we ever saw the item on it, right? The Hydrapple looked like Assault Vest, by the way, which is cool. Hydro comes out, yeah. Okay. I don't feel that bad about this loss, mainly because I am up against, like, really unknown territory with Joey's team with a lot of Pokemon that you don't see that often in VGC, especially Manaphy, so we confirmed a lot of valuable sets in that one. But yeah, to me, the key mistake was just going for that second Nasty Plot. I think if that were just a Draining Kiss that turn, I don't think Joey actually had enough offense to beat me in the end game with Manaphy, with Sneasel, Hydropple, and Furret. So, even though we lost this one, like, I actually don't feel terrible about it. I think the Pollen Puff onto the Wo-Chan definitely caught me off guard as well. The ideal would have been to have Wo-Chan out on the field. But I think now I can go... Yeah, Grimmspec is still fine. Hydropple is annoying. We saw that Mystical Fire did not get the knockout. So I'm thinking I could pivot in Ursaluna instead as an adjustment. Oh, the game crashed. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I think if I just play better with Spectrier, Spec can definitely carry us in this one. So I like those two. I'm thinking about Ursaluna, honestly. I'm also thinking about Crests. The main thing is in that last game, basically, part of the problem with the mode that I'm going with is it relies a little bit too much on Spectrier. So I think I could actually drop Wo-Chan and Enamorus for Crest and Ursaluna instead. Especially now knowing they have Pollen Puff and the Steel Terra Blast set. So this is what I'm leaning towards. I could just lead Enamorus. I think Grim Enamorus is also a possibility. But I like letting Spectre just hit the field early. I think the Syrup Bomb was really creative as well as a way to drop my speed from Hydropple. Although I actually don't think it, like, is the worst for us. Because, like I said, going after Manaphy can actually be advantageous, right? I think it actually put us in a pretty good spot in game one, but I just overread things a little bit on one of the turns. Okay, it's a run back, Manaphy plus Furret. I almost wonder if he's Mental Herb on Manaphy. Taunt, Nasty Plot's the play I want to go for here. Just don't know what else Furret's carrying. Alright, I'm gonna taunt Nasty Plot. Yeah, he goes for Follow Me this time, which makes sense. You get the guaranteed boost. It's still fine. Shuckle comes out, yep. So I think this is where I can Light Screen and go for a second Nasty Plot. Because yes, I'm going to take a lot of damage, but then you get me low enough where then I can just Fairy Terra Draining Kiss the subsequent turn. I guess my fear here is Furret stays in and has an attack and Spectre gets doubled up into. Yeah, that's the main debate. Hydro would activate my Citrus, though. Maybe I Fairy Terra just in case. Light Screen, Fairy Terra. Second Nasty Plot. Furret does switch, that's fine. Into Sneasel, that's fine. Yeah, preemptive Terra here, but I think given the amount of scary things that can threaten us, like random knockoff from Furret and Sneasel, I don't mind going for this. Okay, Light Screen gets set up. We'll plot again. He goes for a second Tail Glow, that makes sense. Okay, now is where the game gets really interesting, I think. How much does +5 Hydro do to us under Light Screen? Does it get a one-shot? Probably. Manaphy, Spectrier. The main thing we have to respect is some pivoting, right? So Sneasel could hard switch back out into Furret right now, which would be my concern. So I think I actually want to taunt Sneasel and protect here. Yeah. Okay, he stays in, but that's fine. The key thing is to just not get blown up this turn. Fake out in a Grim, okay. And then Gleam, I guess? Wow, that was a really aggressive read. I mean, it works out. It's good to know. I think it's like a high risk, high reward play. I mean, if I wasn't going to feint to the Manaphy, like, yeah, I question if I should have done something different there. But I do get Cresselia in for free now. Yeah. This turn is interesting because if you're Joey, you could obviously protect Manaphy and then switch Sneasel out into Furret. I do have Ally Switch here, which I think is a pretty clutch move too. Just feels like Manaphy has to protect here, personally. But then the question is it a switch into Furret? Because I could double up onto the Sneasel slot right now. We'll Moonblast Sneasel. Okay, I'll just Moonblast Manaphy and Draining Kiss here. Yeah, he protects, but if he stays in with Sneasel, it's fine, because I can just double up on Manaphy again next turn. What I didn't want to do is knock out Sneasel and give a free switch him back into Furret here. Knock off into Crest is fine. It's a question of how much we do to Manaphy at +4. I think +4 Shadow Ball should KO. So I think we can just go for that, right? Manaphy here is Grass Terra, which isn't relevant against us. Yeah, I think I'm happy to just Lunar Blessing here. And Shadow Ball. Okay. Nice. Key Pokemon down. Okay, good. That gets us to +5. Triple Axle comes out. That's fine. Does a lot, but now I just heal back up with Citrus and Lunar Blessing. Maybe Moonblast was better here this turn, but I don't mind getting us back to full HP, basically. Okay. Triple Axle, Ice Shard, Fake Out, Knock Off on Sneasel. So no Protect. Knock Off. Hydropple definitely Terras now. But this is where I think I can also leverage Ally Switch. I have to respect double up into Spectria right now. Furret's going to be the last one. I don't even think +5 Shadow Ball KOs this with Assault Vest, which is mainly the problem here. I think I could also probably like Moonblast Sneasel Protect here. That seems okay, right? Oh, Sneasel switches. Okay. Well, Furret, we've seen Rain Dance and Follow Me so far, so I don't really know what the full moveset is, but I can just Draining Kiss that now this next turn. No Terra from Hydrapple. Okay. So risking an Ice Beam there. Syrup Bomb into Crest. Okay, that's fine. One thing to note is if you Terra Hydrapple, then Ursaluna can just thrive under Trick Room. I think I'm down for Lunar Blessing here and Draining Kiss. Fake Out Night, Follow Me makes sense, yep. Which is fine. Now it's +6 Shadow Ball this next turn. +6 into Hydrapple. Assault Vest. Should KO, I think. I think it'll be like max HP, max Bedef. Get a Lunar Blessing off. Syrup Bomb now into me. Oh, I get crit. I think it's okay. They did do a lot. Sneasel comes out now. Like, I've got Ursa plus Crest, so I think if I just knock out Sneasel, I should win the game. With Trick Room. He's been reading so much into my Protects. I think I still attack here with... Yeah, I'm down to Moonblast, Sneasel. Shadow Ball, Hydrapple. Nice, and he goes Fake Out into Crest. Cool. So, yeah, he's been reading a lot into my Spectre Protects. I just don't give it to him this time around. Nice. Spec Sweep. Okay, cool. Beautiful. So this is what I mean. I felt like I had the right tools to win in that first game, and Crest definitely has been handy as well, so... Yeah, I don't want to reveal any more information here, right? And he hasn't seen my last Pokemon yet, so I think here I'm okay going for just Moonblast and Protect here. Ideally, I want to conserve Trick Room as well as Ursaluna being in the back. Yep, Triple Axle into the Protect here. Moonblast does like 95% to Sneasel. That was with the crit, so it's probably Eviolite, right? Instead of Focus Sash. Where's the Sash on his team then, is my question. I have no idea. This also means he doesn't have Beat Up on Sneasel, so yeah. I really like the use of Hydrapple, though, to decrease evasion for Manaphy and Sneasel to take advantage of. I think that's really clever. Alright, we're going to game 3. The question is, do I adjust my mode? I think Spectre feels strong enough that I commit to it once again. The main thing that was awkward in this game was dancing around the potential for it switch in. Because like I said, if... Joey could have protected and then switched in for it, which then would have pressured Follow Me the next turn, which becomes really scary. So I think Grim and Spec still feel like I'm bringing them out. Wo-Chien is immune to, or not immune, but Hydro Pump doesn't do that much to us. I still think back Ursa is okay, but yeah, let's go into game 3. I think the other takeaway I have from that game is Joey's willingness to really lean into reads. Like when he went Fake Out plus Hydro on a Grimmsnarl, like that was a huge risk to take, right? Because if my Spectre attacks and knocks out the Manaphy there, I think the game is just over. The question really, to me, is like, what adjustment does he have for Grimmspec? I think, Bronzong hasn't appeared yet and could put in some work, especially if you have Gyro Ball on it. I think I'm okay going with the same 4 I went with in the last game. Grimmspec, Crest, Ursaluna. Enamorous. It's just like Annihilate hasn't made an appearance yet, right? But I think Ursa is strong enough into his team that even if he makes adjustments, like I still have a new mode to play with, like he hasn't gone up against. So I think I'm okay with this. All right, let's see. Game 3. I think having the taunt on Grim is a really big deal, so I'm glad I had it in the end. But yeah, he could just go for it plus Manaphy once again. I'd be surprised if he wanted to run it back. You could go Sneasel Manaphy. All right, Annihilate makes an appearance here. So Furret. Does it get beat up? That's my question. No. Do you get any multi-hit moves? Not knowing what kind of Annihilate set here is what makes this probably the most stressful. I'm leaning towards... I'm worried about Scarf Gambit here. Obviously, this can set up on me as well. He knows I have taunt, so I'm thinking about just Reflect here. Reflect. Terra. Nasty Plot. I think the main thing I'm worried about is he goes for like a crazy just Final Gambit immediately into me. Which would be wild. I don't know what kind of Annihilate set this is. Oh, Furret protects. Okay, great. So reveals protect. That's good to know. This is a really good turn 1, all things considered, then I would say. And it is Final Gambit, but I'll take this. This is a fantastic trade in my opinion. Okay, I don't mind that. I guess the downside is I didn't get a light screen up, so a Manaphy mode now is a little bit scarier. I'm actually low-key thinking about just bringing Ursaluna out immediately, but I think it should still probably be Cresselia here. And I haven't revealed Ally Switch yet, which I think could be an ace in a hole to just win us the game. Okay. So now the question is, can I knock out Manaphy? Or sorry, can I knock out the Furret with the +2 Draining Kiss? Draining Kiss, Furret. It's only +2. Terra. And if the Furret has no bulk, it actually does get the knockout. Because essentially what I'm thinking about is Moonblast, Furret, and Draining Kiss into it. Since it just protected. Because I feel like if we just get this knockout, then Manaphy is left exposed the next turn, right? This Furret is Ghost type, so this works. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Yep, just follow me, that's fine. Okay. Really hoping to get this knockout with the double up. Is this sashed? Just invisible focus Ash, but that's fine. Okay. You probably Terra your Hydrapple, right? One would guess. Oh, it's not Hydrapple in the back. It's Sneasel. Okay, that makes sense. Protect here is so obvious. Like, Joey's shown willingness to lean into reads here. I don't think I want to risk it, though, personally. But he could, like, knock off Hydro into Crest right now. Oh, man, this is intense. I want to go for the obvious protect still. Moonblast, you protect. It's obvious, but I'm still going to go for it. He did read it. Nicely done. Does this even KO me, though? He could also miss Hydro right now, but he doesn't. Let's see if this KOs. Oh, he gets the read. Okay, if I attack there, I probably just win the game, I think. But the thing is, Joey could miss any of his moves right now. He does not have the evasion drop on me, so... Spectre at +2 against Manaphy. Not going to KO, right? Not getting that third special attack boost was actually such a bummer, because I think that basically improves it to very good odds of getting a knockout. He's going to double up on Spectrier, I think. +2 draining won't KO. It's like, do I play towards a Hydro miss? You'd also miss triple axle, right? I'm a double up on Manaphy. Here's the Terra from his end. What is he tearing? Manaphy into grass makes sense. So you resist, but I'm not going for Headlong Rush here anyway. Here's Shadow Ball. Yeah. Triple Axle. Did you miss? Okay, only hits twice. Hydro connects. Does this KO us? Oh, it does. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if I had just attacked... Oh, I can't believe we didn't knock out Furret, because I would have gotten an extra special attack boost. What? That's a cool tech. Oh my gosh. The chillin'... That's crazy, dude. He said, I don't want to play against Ursaluna. Wow, what a tech. That's Draft League for you, folks. Oh, he could still miss his attacks, but I needed that knockout, I think. I mean, yeah, you could knock off and dazzle now, even. I don't have Earthquake. Facade into Manaphy. This was crazy. He just went for knockup. Did he Hydro? No, dazzle, okay. Yeah, that's enough to KO us. Oh, this was so close. What a set. What a set. I wonder, like, the Hydro Pump calc on Spectre as well. I think we may have actually been able to survive that as well. Let's see. +3 Hydro Pump into us. If he's modest or timid max, which he probably is, then I don't have a chance of surviving that. Yeah. So, I think, yeah, since Joey had shown that he was willing to play so aggressively, like, it was worth it to just attack with Spectre that turn and Shadow Ball, and Shadow Balling there probably would have just won me the game. But if he goes Fake Out plus... Honestly, with this Manaphy set, like, it was so cool against Ursaluna specifically, right? But yeah, in the end, it's like he needed to hit 3 Hydro Pumps and a Triple Axle, so I think if any of those Hydros miss, we are in a good spot. Yeah, if you obviously you missed the one against Spectre, I just went on the spot. If you miss Cresselia, then I get the Moonblast off into you. You're super low. Although I guess Cresselia there that turn didn't have a super good move anyway. So, yeah. I think, like, Trick Room, though, plus Ursaluna under Trick Room doesn't actually work against the Grass Terra, Chilean Berry, Manaphy. Like, that was really, really cool. I don't know if it was Eviolite or Focus Sash on the Sneasel. But... yeah, obviously, like, I don't love losing in Pokemon, but, you know, when you play such a fun set like that, like, I have no regrets. You know, the main turn I can point to is, like, being willing to take that risk with the Spectrier, but I figured even if he doubled up onto me, like, it's still okay. Because, yeah, like, at any point a miss could work in our favor, but, yeah, unfortunately, like, all the Hydro Pumps connected, which made it tougher for us. But, yeah, I think, like, Joey's willingness to lean into the aggression was really smart there. And if Furret wasn't sashed, missing that knockout, like, changed everything, because we would have gotten that special attack boost, and with the third boost, I knock out Manaphy. So, I'm curious about his final sets in the end, but GG. Well, I think that's definitely one of the craziest sets I've ever been a part of in any draft league. That was super, super exhilarating. I obviously would have loved to end up winning that one, but the margins were so close there in the end. If Spectre gets that knockout onto for example, if the Hydro Pumps misses at any point, if Manaphy weren't Chilean Berry, all of these different variables. But in the end, Joey ended up with the win, and it was a very, very well-deserved win. This was a really great reintroduction to Draft League for me because I think Joey's level of preparation was insane, right? He had covered for so many different things. Grass Terra plus Chilean Berry Manaphy coming into effect in the very, very ultimate end of that game 3 was absolutely wild, and a lot of the sets I think were really well designed on Joey's end. For example, the Hydrapple just completely caught me off guard as well. So, you know, when you analyze Draft League losses or wins, there's so many different dimensions that you can look at. And for me, there's a lot of different play elements that I could have done better, whether it be in game 1, for example, not greeting the nasty plot. Game 3, maybe going for a harder read with Cresselia, the turn that he doubled up into it, for example. And from a team building perspective, maybe I could have accounted for +3, Tailglow Manaphy a little bit more, have a more defensive Terra against it, for example, and some of my other Pokemon as well. But ultimately, you got to just live and learn from these experiences, and I could not have asked for a better way to get this league started, other than maybe getting the win there in the end, But it was a really, really fun experience, so huge thank you and shout outs to Joey. He was the one who invited me to this league in the first place, and so I'm really excited to participate in it. And even though we're starting the league off with a loss, there's so many weeks in the regular season, and I feel confident in my abilities to learn and also adapt as time goes on. So thanks to you all for watching and for your support, and I'm eager to come back strong in week 2.